Welcome back to another video, Rams Nation. Today I'm going to talk about a preseason recap so far. I'm not really going to go into the fourth game that much because Jared Goff's not playing. A bunch of the starters aren't playing. Sean McVay's been holding them out, especially this last game against the Chargers. I'm just going to talk about what we can take away from these past couple games and what we can look forward to heading into the regular season. In the first preseason game, the Rams played the Cowboys at home and went on to win 13-10. In that game, the biggest takeaway was the lack of ball security from the Rams. There were 5 or 6 fumbles. Most of them were from a rookie running back out of Southern California. He was an undrafted free agent, Justin Davis. He played a very good game other than the fumbles. He had 9 carries for 70 yards. He was probably the standout player from this game. But the ball security is a big deal in the NFL. The Rams have to fix this, and ever since in the past couple games, fumbles haven't really been an issue, so that's good. Cooper Kupp, on one of those fumbles, recovered it in the end zone to score the first touchdown of the year. It's probably in the most Rams fashion possible. There's a fumble recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. In addition, he had 2 receptions for 35 yards, and Jared Goff went 3 for 4 for 34 yards. It didn't have a touchdown or interceptions. He looked like a better decision maker in that game. The first drive ended up being 3 and out, but the way they ended up scoring was they punted after that 3 and out. There was a fumble by the punt returner, and it was recovered by the Rams. Joshua Forrest was the one that hopped on it, and then the Rams had a short field. Couple passes. One of them was an 18-yarder to Cooper Kupp, and it set it up nice. Jared Goff then threw it to Robert Woods inside the 10-yard line. He was on his way to the end zone. A Cowboy came in, popped out the ball. It was in the end zone, and Cooper Kupp's instincts were to hop on it right away. There he was, touchdown Rams. In the second game, the Rams played the Raiders in Oakland. This one they won, 24-21. And in this game, it was a big step forward for Jared Goff. He went 16 for 20 for 160 yards and a touchdown. And his touchdown was to Cooper Kupp, wide open in the end zone. There was like no one near him. But in this game, Goff looked like he was a veteran out there. He was making good decisions. He was throwing the ball away when he had to. He wasn't forcing anything. He was putting the ball where the wide receiver could get it. He didn't make any mistakes this game. He had 0 interceptions. He didn't really get away with anything. Like, it's not like he threw the ball and it got dropped or anything. He didn't have any situations like that. Todd Gurley looked very strong in this one. He hit his holes unlike last year. Last year he just didn't look the same. But from the Raiders game, it looked like he was back to his old self, hitting the holes, bouncing it outside and up the field. Cooper Kupp played a very good game. He continues to impress. He's looking like a veteran out there. And here I wrote down the first couple drives with the starters. The first 4 drives were touchdown, punt, touchdown, field goal. So on 75% of their drives, they were scoring. And the Raiders' first 3 drives were the only drives that they had their starters. They had a touchdown, an interception, and touchdown. The Raiders overcame some miscues. They had the interception and a delay of game, so they weren't really into the game. But they overcame that because once the starters were done, it was 17-14 Rams. So they overcame a touchdown, or an interception, excuse me, and a delay of game to keep the game close. Sean Mannion didn't really play well in this game. A lot of fans are cheering start Mannion, give him a chance. He was a 3rd-round pick. Why would we take him if he's not going to play? Well, I mean, in this game he didn't play too well. He didn't play bad, but he didn't play too well. And this game was really big with the 5th wide receiver battle. It's between Mike Thomas, Josh Reynolds, and Pharoh Cooper. Pharoh Cooper in this game, there was one time when he came across the middle and he received a pass, and he got sandwiched by 2 Raiders. It was a really hard hit, and he held on to the ball, which was very good to see. That was a plus for him. And then Josh Reynolds was a little quiet in this game, and Mike Thomas started to get touches. But he has a 2-game suspension, so that might hurt him. He's going to stay until then, but He could possibly be cut, and then he ended up actually getting a concussion, or he got a hit to the head. I would assume it was a concussion. I didn't really follow up on that. There's no Nelson Spruce. I know all the fans love him. He's a good guy. He played well last year in that one preseason game before getting hurt. But I believe Sean McVay said his injury from last year might have come back, so that's not good. And then I said Josh Reynolds was being quiet this whole game, but at the end of the game, Sean Mannion threw up a ball, and he came down with it with about a minute left. That was the game winner. And so Josh Reynolds, I would say out of those three, 4 including Spruce, probably has the lead for the 5th wide receiver. And I would assume Sammy Watkins, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Tavon Austin are the first 4. And that was a good takeaway from the Raiders. That was probably one of the best games I've ever seen the Rams play. And it was definitely eye-opening, and it really excites me about where Jared Goff is going. In the 3rd preseason game, the Rams played the Chargers at home. It was the battle for LA. It was a preseason game, but it was a battle of LA. The Rams ended up losing 21-19. After the first quarter, it was 21-0 Chargers. It looked like they were running away with it, but the Rams weren't playing any starters. They were holding out 12 starters, I think it was. Jared Goff was 5 for 8 with 56 yards, 0 touchdowns, an interception, and a fumble. That was kind of ugly. The fumble was returned for a touchdown, and the pick wasn't really a good decision by Jared Goff. Josh Reynolds ended up having 3 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. Back to that 5th wide receiver battle. I believe after this performance, that solidifies him as a 5th wide receiver. And then Pharaoh Cooper had 5 catches, for 70 yards. And that was another solid performance for him. So he might be wide receiver 6 if they decide to hold 6 on. If it came to putting him on the practice squad, he would definitely be there. Defensive back Marquis Christian had 9 tackles, and that was a very solid game from him. And the Rams lost 21-19. That was due to partly because Travis Coons missed a field goal, but since then he's been cut. I mean, we have Greg Zuerlein. I mean, that was expected, but a missed field goal, that would have, at that time, it would have given us the lead, I believe. I don't know what point in the game that was that he missed it, but if he had 3 to the end of the score, the Rams would have won that game. This one was a little scary for Jared Goff. It wasn't like the Raiders the last game before this game. And now Sean McVay's holding him out of the 4th game, which I kind of get, but you're sending him into the regular season with a game like this, which isn't really a confidence booster. Now, if you have the Raiders game, if he has a game like that next week, say if he plays, that's a game where he'll have a bunch of confidence heading into the regular season, but this game obviously will not have him riding high and have confidence into the regular season. So all in all, a preseason recap, 3 weeks instead of 4, because the 4th game, I don't think it's going to matter. It's just Jared Goff's not playing, like I said. The starters aren't playing. Yes, there's probably going to be a few cute battles, but I'm pretty sure at this point, after all the off-season practices and after the first 3 games, Sean McVay has an idea of what this roster is going to look like. So to recap, Jared Goff, his total stats in the preseason, he was 24 for 32, which is 75%, which is phenomenal. Like last year, he wasn't even close to that. Like I said, in the Raiders game, he looked very, very decisive. He looked like a veteran. He looked like a first overall pick. He wasn't looking like a bust like some of these people are saying, which is just absurd. But he ended up having 1 touchdown, which was the wide open one to Cooper Kupp, an interception, and a fumble. So all in all, his preseason was pretty good. I'd give him a pretty good grade. He has exceeded my expectations this year. I think he's going to be pretty good this year, but he looked very well in the Raiders game, especially. The wide receiver 5 battle between Reynolds, Cooper, and Thomas. It's going to be a pretty tough one, but I think Reynolds is he's come on as of late after being hurt for the first game and the practices leading up to the preseason games. But when they took him in the 4th round, I believe it was Sean McVay's pick in the 4th round. He's probably going to stick around, so I think he's a lock for the roster. Aaron Donald remains unsigned. Nothing much has moved on that. You ask Les Snead or Sean McVay, they're going to tell you nothing has happened. The rumor was the Rams offered him a 6-year, $120 million deal, and he declined because there was not a 3rd-year opt-out. A reason for a 3rd-year opt-out for him would be so he can get out of that contract and possibly leave if he wasn't happy with the Rams, or with the inflation, because every year like $10 million gets added on to the preseason cap. So that's what they were saying. That's what they wanted. Sean McVay has been holding out the starters. Robert Quinn, Kayvon Webster, Nikel Roby-Coleman, Mark Barron, in addition to others, really haven't been playing much. Or I believe the 4 that I just named, I don't think they've played at all. And that's just because we don't want injuries. We've been relatively healthy besides Dominique Easley's injury, which was a torn ACL. That was really early in the year. But heading into the regular season, we're going to be pretty healthy. And that's what we like to see, because we're not going to go into a season missing Jared Goff like how we missed with Sam Bradford the 1 year. We're not going to have our left tackle tear his ACL or something like whatever his name was. I don't even care. He's not even worth my time because he's not with the Rams anymore. This preseason was it was pretty good so far. I mean, the Rams were 2-1. They lost the game because of a missed field goal, I guess. It's been very exciting to watch. I think Sean McVay, what he's doing, he has turned the whole culture around. We, not me. I think all the players are buying into that, except Aaron Donald. But no, I can see where Aaron Donald, where he stands with his decision. He's the best player in the NFL. I'm a biased Rams fan, but he's the best player in the NFL. If he's not the best, he's the best defensive player. And if you don't think he's the best defensive player, he's the best defensive tackle at least. He's deserving of a big contract. If the Rams aren't going to pay him, someone else will. I don't think the Rams are going to trade Aaron Donald, but there is a threat that he's not going to play in the regular season, which I don't really buy, because he's getting fined every time he misses a practice, and if he's not playing, he's not going to get rewarded with a big contract. Other teams aren't going to like that. The Rams aren't really going to. That might hurt their discussions, but I don't really expect Aaron Donald to hold that much out into the regular season. I don't really expect him to at all. But if he does, he does. It's unfortunate. And one last thing to close out this video. The Rams signed Eric Dickerson to a one-day contract today as of this video that I'm taking right now. He just took the pen and the paper within the last hour. The last time he played was in 1993 with the Atlanta Falcons. That's pretty interesting. But the Rams are back in LA. He wants to retire a Los Angeles Rams. Today was the day. Very good for him. For Rams fans, that symbolism is pretty cool. For the Rams, it's pretty cool. And that's all I got to say about this video. So thanks for watching. Like it, share it with your friends. My last video did very well. It did a lot better than what I thought it would. Subscribe to. Thanks for the support. I'll try to upload more frequently. I haven't really, but I promise I will. Like I said, I'll do more recaps and previews when the season comes. And once the draft comes around, I'll obviously have more to do with that. But with that being said, thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. Go Rams.